Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling. You understand English pretty well, you can follow movies, read articles, maybe even do okay on a grammar quiz, but then nothing. When it's your turn to speak, you just freeze. The sentence evaporates. Hesitation wins. Does that sound like you?
Absolutely.
Nope.
It's a really common sticking point for learners. You have the knowledge in there, but actually getting it out fluently feels blocked. It's like having all the right ingredients, but not quite having the recipe put together quickly.
Exactly. So today our mission is basically to give you that recipe for fluent English. We're diving deep into practical techniques, not abstract rules, but things that actually train your brain to build sentences fast, so you can speak with more confidence and hopefully stop overthinking so much.
The goal is actionable steps you can use right away.
We want to build that bridge, right, between just understanding and actually speaking effortlessly.
Precisely. Streamlining how you form sentences is key to unlocking that natural expression.
And that's the promise for this deep dive. By the end, you won't just understand how to make sentences faster, you'll feel ready, motivated even, to actually do it. Okay, so let's get into it. Why do so many learners get stuck like this? Understanding loads, but struggling to speak.
Well, often it comes down to trying too hard to be perfect.
Yeah.
There's this pressure, to make every sentence grammatically flawless before you even say it.
Yeah.
And all that internal editing, that second guessing, it just creates delays. It actually slows you down.
Right, the pursuit of perfection ironically gets in the way of fluency.
Exactly.
And our source material really highlights this too. Building fluency starts with building confidence using simple tricks, training your brain to respond quickly. It's less about perfection, especially at first, and more about just communicating, like learning to ride a bike, right? You wobble, you might fall, but you focus on moving forward first.
That's a great analogy. Fluency isn't about instantly recalling every single grammar rule on demand. It's about making those common structures automatic, so they just flow without you having to consciously piece them together every time. That's what these techniques aim for.
So we've got 10 practical techniques lined up, and these should work for you pretty much whatever your current level is, as long as you practice consistently. The whole idea is to help you speak more naturally, form sentences faster. Let's jump into the first one. Simple sentence structures. What's the power in keeping it simple?
Well, the power is exactly that simplicity. It's about mastering short, direct sentences. Things like, I like coffee, or she is happy. They might seem basic, but honestly, they're the bedrock of communication. A lot of our daily spoken English relies on these simple subject-verb-object or subject-verb-adjective patterns.
And the advantage is they're fast, right? Easy to put together, effective for getting your point across, and you can build on them later. The source gives examples like, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I come home. Super direct, like learning walk before you run.
Exactly. These are your foundation. Getting comfortable and confident with these simple structures builds momentum. It also reduces the mental effort, frees up your brain to think about what you want to say, not just how to say it grammatically.
Okay, that makes sense. Technique number 2 builds on this, common sentence patterns. This feels like the next logical step.
It is. English has predictable patterns. The most common is probably subject plus verb plus object, but there are others too. If you consciously practice these patterns, they start to become second nature. Sentence building feels less like solving a puzzle each time.
Yeah, the source gives some good examples. Subject plus verb plus object. He reads a book, they eat dinner, we love movies. Simple stuff. Then subject plus verb plus adjective, the coffee is hot. Or subject plus verb plus preposition plus noun, he walks to the store. So the idea is just repetition, practicing these over and over.
Absolutely. Drilling these patterns creates mental templates. So when you want to express something, your brain can just slot the words into these familiar structures. It bypasses the need to build every sentence from scratch, word by word.
Yeah.
It really speeds things up.
Got it. All right, technique 3 sounds quite different. Shadowing. What's the core idea here?
Shadowing is where you listen to someone speaking English, maybe a short audio clip, and you immediately repeat what they say. The key is you try to mimic everything, their pronunciation, the rhythm, the intonation, the speed, like being their linguistic shadow in real time.
Okay, and the benefit. The source says it connects sounds, words, and sentence flow, helping your brain build sentences faster. How does that work exactly?
Well, let's try it. If I say, I'm going to the market again, pause slightly. You, the listener, would immediately repeat, I'm going to the market again.
Yeah.
You'd focus on copying how I said it, not just the words, the rhythm, the ups and downs. What's interesting is by focusing on the sound of the rhythm, you engage different parts of your brain than when you're just, thinking about grammar. It's almost like learning the melody of a song through repetition.
That's a good way to put it. So it's not just repeating words, it's tuning your ear and your mouth to the music of English.
Precisely. It's holistic. It trains your mouth and brain to work together to produce English that sounds natural, builds muscle memory for pronunciation and flow.
Okay, technique 4 brings in more interaction. Question and answer training. How does this help speed things up?
This one's about actively asking and answering questions. It's so effective because it directly mimics real conversation. You're not just producing sentences in isolation, you're responding immediately to what someone else says.
Right, that back and forth forces you to think on your feet in English. It's not scripted. You have to come up with a response quickly. That must boost confidence, too. The source uses the example. Question. What do you usually eat for dinner? Answer. I usually eat rice and vegetables. Pretty straightforward.
Exactly. Doing this consistently trains your brain to quickly find the right words and build sentences in response to different prompts. It builds mental agility. And the great thing is, you can even practice this alone. Ask yourself questions and answer them out loud.
Okay, adding a bit of pressure now with technique 5, the timer technique. This sounds like fun, maybe slightly stressful.
It can be, but in a good way. You set a timer, say, for 1 minute. Pick a simple word. Then your goal is just to make as many sentences as you can using that word before the timer goes off. They don't have to be perfect, just understandable.
Yeah, the focus isn't on beautiful writing, it's speed and getting the words out. The source used dog. The dog is sleeping. I love my dog. My dog barks a lot. So that ticking clock just forces your brain to work faster.
Precisely. It pushes you beyond just knowing a word to actually using it in different ways quickly. It's surprisingly good at breaking down hesitation and getting your passive vocabulary into active use. It's about getting the language flowing.
Nice. Okay. Technique 6 is about working smarter, not harder. Memorizing common phrases. This seems really practical.
Hugely practical.
Yeah.
So much of everyday conversation uses the same common phrases over and over. If you memorize these, they just pop into your head when you need them. You don't have to think about the grammar or structure at all.
Yeah, the source listed some great ones. I think so. That's interesting. Can you help me? How are you? I'm not sure. That sounds good. These are like the ready-made tools of conversation. You just grab them and use them.
Exactly. They're prefabricated language chunks. Using them massively reduces the mental effort of speaking. It frees you up to focus on your actual message and understanding the other person.
Technique 7 brings us right into the present moment. Describing what you see. How does looking around help with sentence speed?
This is powerful because it trains you to think directly in English. You link what you see with English words right there and then. You look around, see something happening, and you say it in English, like the sun is shining, a woman is talking on the phone. The key is to skip the translation step from your native language.
Okay. The source examples are good. I see 2 kids playing. I see a lamp on the desk. There's a cup of coffee next to it. The window is open. Yes. So you're building that direct connection. See it. Say it in English. No middleman.
Precisely. It's about creating that immediate link between the visual world and English words. That's vital for developing that thinking in English ability.
Which is a perfect lead-in to technique number 8. Stop translating mentally. This feels like a big one for a lot of learners.
It really is. It's often a major bottleneck. Translating in your head from your native language first adds this extra step that just slows everything down. It makes speaking feel effortful, kind of clunky.
Right. The source example was simple. See a blue sky. Think the sky is blue directly in English, not your native phrase first. But how do you actually train yourself to do that?
Well, it takes conscious effort. Techniques like describing what you see are part of it. The more you deliberately connect things, actions, feelings directly with the English words for them, the less you'll need to translate. Immersion helps too, just surrounding yourself with English as much as possible.
Okay. Technique 9 uses stories. Storytelling practice. Even short ones help fluency.
Absolutely. Even telling a tiny story, like 2 or 3 sentences, helps you link ideas together logically in English. It forces you to think sequentially, to build a little narrative. That's crucial for natural speech.
The source had examples like, yesterday I went to the park, I saw a dog, it was running fast. Or, yesterday I went to the store, I bought some bread and milk, then I came home and made a sandwich. So even these little sequences build rhythm and flow over time, stringing sentences together smoothly.
Exactly that. You're practicing the natural flow of connecting thoughts. Start super simple. Tell stories about your day. Then, as you get more comfortable, you can gradually make them a bit longer or more detailed.
And the final one, Technique 10 brings it all together. Practicing with others.
Yeah, this is vital. Talking with other English speakers puts you in the real-world situation. It forces your brain to work in real time, responding to unpredictable conversation. It's the ultimate practice ground for everything else.
The source example was responding to "What did you do today?" in a group chat with something like "I studied English, went for a walk, and cooked dinner."
That real interaction definitely makes you respond faster.
It does, and you get immediate feedback, you hear different ways of speaking, different vocabulary. It's invaluable for really improving your fluency.
Okay, wow. That's 10 solid techniques. If people start using these, what are the overall benefits they can expect to see? Well, the combined effect is pretty significant. You'll definitely notice yourself hesitating less. That's a big one. Your confidence will grow as you have more successful conversations. You'll start to sound more natural, too, because you'll be thinking more directly in English, not translating word for word.
And it's not just about speed, is it? Shadowing helps your listening. The timer and storytelling help you think faster. You'll probably see improvements in pronunciation and intonation, too, right? It's kind of a whole package deal for spoken English.
Absolutely. It all adds up to feeling more comfortable and competent when communicating. You'll be less stuck on the mechanics of how to say something and more focused on what you want to say. And consistency is key. Even just 10 minutes a day with these techniques makes a real difference and gives you that sense of accomplishment.
Okay, they all sound great. But where should someone actually start? If they're listening now and want to try one, what's a good first step?
Good question. I'd say pick one or two that feel most appealing or maybe easiest to start with. If you're newer to English, maybe start with the simple sentences. Just write down 5 short sentences about your day and say them out loud. Make them clear. Or for the common sentence patterns, maybe pick one pattern like subject, verb, object, and try making 5 different sentences using it. Say those aloud too.
What about shadowing? How do you start that easily?
Find a short audio clip, maybe from a podcast aimed at learners, or even a kids show, something where they speak clearly. Listen to just one sentence, pause, and repeat it immediately. Really try to copy the sound and rhythm, not just the words. Don't worry if it's not perfect at first.
And for question and answer, do you need a partner right away?
Not necessarily. You can write down 5 common questions like, how was your day? Or what did you eat for breakfast? And then just practice answering them out loud. There are apps for this too. Or you can literally just ask yourself the question in the mirror and answer. It feels weird, but it works.
The timer technique seems pretty simple to start. Just grab a word and go.
Exactly. Set your phone timer for 60 seconds, pick a word like book or water, and just say as many sentences using that word as you can. Don't stress about perfect grammar, just get the sentences out. Quick thinking is the goal. And for common phrases, maybe start by learning just 5 really useful ones this week. Say them aloud whenever you have a spare moment.
Okay, and what about describing your surroundings and trying to stop translating? How do you make that a habit?
Start small. Right now, look around you. Pick one thing. Maybe it's a pen. Just think or say, I see a pen, in English. Don't think the word in your native language first. Try doing that a few times throughout the day with different objects, little micro practices.
And storytelling, just a sentence or two about your day.
Yeah, super simple. Today I woke up early, I drank coffee, I felt tired, something like that. 2 or 3 linked sentences. Keep it simple at first. And for practicing with others, look for opportunities. Maybe an online language exchange, a local conversation group, even just trying a bit more English with a friend who speaks it.
Makes sense. Now, as people start trying these, are there common mistakes or pitfalls they should watch out for?
Yes, definitely a few things to keep in mind. One is trying to be too complex too soon. Stick with simple sentences until you're comfortable. Don't jump to really long, complicated structures right away. Another is not doing enough repetition with the sentence patterns. You really need to drill them for them to become automatic.
What about with shadowing? Can you do that ineffectively?
Yeah, if you just repeat the words like a robot without paying attention to the rhythm, the intonation, the pauses, you miss a lot of the benefit. You really have to try to mimic the speaker's musicality.
And for Q&A practice, what's a mindset to avoid?
Hesitating too much because you're searching for the perfect answer. It's better to give a quick, simple, understandable answer, even if it has a small mistake, than to just freeze up completely. Focus on responding.
The timer technique could feel discouraging if you only make a few sentences at first, right?
It could, so you need the right mindset. Remember, the goal isn't necessarily quantity, especially at first. It's about training your brain to think faster under pressure and overcoming that hesitation. Celebrate making any sentences quickly.
And not actively learning those common phrases just seems like missing an easy win for efficiency.
It really is. They're such useful shortcuts. Make a conscious effort to learn and actually use them.
When describing surroundings, is getting hung up on grammar a common issue?
Yes. People start worrying, is this preposition right? Could I use the perfect tense? The main goal here is direct English thinking and quick production. Just get the observation out simply.
We keep coming back to stopping mental translation. Any other tips for that? It seems hard to break.
Be patient with yourself. It takes time. Keep consciously trying to think directly in English. Label things around you in English in your head. Narrate your actions internally in English. The more you do it, the weaker the translation habit becomes.
And storytelling, should a beginner's worry about making long, detailed stories?
Definitely not. Start short and simple. 2 or 3 sentences is perfect. Trying to make it too complex early on just leads to frustration. Clarity and flow over complexity initially.
And finally, is it possible to rely too much on practicing alone?
Yes. Solo practice is crucial for building the foundation, but you absolutely need real interaction too. Talking with others is where you test your skills, adapt to different speakers, and build real conversational confidence. Don't hide in solo practice forever.
This has been incredibly useful. So to help everyone listening take that first step, we've got a few challenges for you to try, maybe even right now or later today.
Absolutely. Let's make it concrete. First, try the timer technique. Get your phone, set a 1-minute timer, pick a word, maybe book or water, and just make as many sentences as you can. Go. Don't overthink it.
Okay, challenge 2, shadowing. Find a short English audio clip, maybe just 1 or 2 sentences from the news or a podcast. Listen, then immediately repeat it aloud. Focus on matching the rhythm and sound.
Challenge 3, question and answer. If you have someone to practice with, great. Ask each other simple questions like, what's the weather like? Or what are your plans? If you're alone, ask yourself a question and answer it out loud. What did I have for lunch? I had a sandwich.
Challenge 4, sentence patterns. Pick one pattern, maybe subject plus verb plus adjective. The coffee is hot. Try to make 5 different sentences using that structure right now. Say them out loud.
Challenge 5, describe your surroundings. Right now, look around. Say 1 or 2 simple sentences in English about what you see. There is a window. My computer is on. Think directly in English.
Challenge 6, actively try not to translate for the next 5 minutes. If you're thinking about something, try to think about it in English words directly. If you see something, label it in English in your head.
And challenge 7, tell a tiny story, just 2 or 3 sentences about something you did today or yesterday. I woke up. I brushed my teeth. I felt good. Simple past tense. Say it aloud.
These are all things you can literally do in the next few minutes or sprinkle throughout your day.
Exactly. And remember, consistency is everything. Doing even 1 or 2 of these challenges regularly will start to build momentum and make a real difference.
So wrapping up this deep dive on making English sentences faster for better fluency, we've covered 10 really practical techniques. From starting with simple sentences and patterns to using shadowing, Q&A, the timer, common phrases, describing things, stopping translation, telling stories, and crucially, practicing with others.
And the big takeaway, really, is that fluency isn't just about knowing grammar rules. It's about training your brain for automatic, confident production. And that comes from actively using these kinds of strategies consistently.
So we really encourage you to try those challenges. Pick 1 or 2 techniques that resonate and start weaving them into your daily routine, even for just a few minutes.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Consider how consistently applying just 1 or 2 of these techniques starting today could genuinely change how you express yourself in English over the next few months. What new conversations, opportunities, or connections might that open up for you?